Thank you very much, Nicolas. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. And you know, the lineup is really amazing, and all your presentations are really amazing, and all these wines. So back to the old world, and with my new tech mindset, I had this morning GPT-4 to describe me La Chapelle Hermitage 2019, and GPT-4 summarized with timeless elegance of Syrah. Loved it, really. I think it's a quite accurate words for those who know what is La Chapelle and who is making La Chapelle, and elegance, I think, is normally really what we're seeking for. First of all, I think it's a legendary wine in terms of the history of it. You know, with maybe you know or you don't know, but you know, the Chevalier de Serenberg will arrive in 1224, and it's one of the first elements of really wine growing and making the first wines in the 13th century, which is we try to maintain this tradition since, because the wine had great reputation already at this moment, and since then we've been doing this. This is, I think, an iconic wine, like a lot here, but you know, for a lot of also people trying in the top 10, and no, made by Caroline Frey. So Caroline Frey is a winemaker here. I'm here to represent her house, but she is, you know, since 2006 when the family Frey bought back Jaboulet, and I will explain you. So Domaine de la Chapelle was part of Paul Jaboulet, and the new news is we decided to separate Domaine de la Chapelle and create our own entity for Hermitage wine, and specifically for La Chapelle versus Paul Jaboulet. It's a unique terroir, as you said, is also a kind of blend of different influence, because this specific Hermitage is a center of Alps meeting the Massif Central and Massif the Mediterranean influence, which is really interesting in terms of terroir, because you have a granitic subsoil which is covered, basically, I try to make it simple, but with limestone pebbles from the Alps. So you have the subsoil from granite coming from Massif Central and covered by the pebbles from the Alps. And you have the Rhône Valley who made this pocket in terms of the Hermitage. So it's a really interesting terroir, and where, as you said, some lieux-dits. So basically, for example, La Chapelle, the main lieu-dit, we have a lot of more. We have 26 hectares, so around 63 acres, if I'm doing the conversion well. So with the terroir of Bessar, for example, Bessar, which are more granitic, then you move to Le Méal, which is really the center, really covered by the pebbles, and also Roucourt. So these are the three main terroirs for making La Chapelle wines. Also, I think the vines are really important. As we said, it's Syrah, only Syrah. These Syrah are, in average, 60 years old, so they are quite established in their terroirs, they are quite deep-rooted, which is great, because I think also, speaking about climate, even having new vine, establishing new vine in this current condition is quite a challenge. Let's say they kind of all die if you don't bring some water and things, so it's quite difficult. So having these 60-year-old vines is really important to us, and we try, you know, every time to maintain, even to regraft the old vines and thing, and to keep the roots inside the soil. So that's part of the thing. In terms of viticulture, of course, we are in organic officially organic since 2016, and we are also working in biodynamic since 2018. So that's it. In terms of the winemaking, I would say we try to make everything the most simple way, like everything is done in the terroir, in the vineyard. So basically it's bringing the grapes to the cellar, working by gravity. We destem everything, that's a tradition, so everything is destamped. Everything is optically sorted manually, but also optically sorted in terms of the intervention. And then we do the most natural process we try in terms of the winemaking process. In terms of the malolactic fermentation, it's happening either in barrels, and we tend to use less and less really new wood. The new wood is almost 10-15% in average in terms of what we do, and we will also use concrete eggs more and more. That's part of the evolution we have, but we just try to have the expression of this wine, which is normally really deep, intense, the depths, and also the elegance of La Chapelle that you can find. I think for 19 it's really interesting because 19 is kind of an opulent vintage. I wouldn't say it's less La Chapelle, but at this stage it's probably a kind of a teenager here in the glass. I would say it needs to be a bit more. For La Chapelle, usually it's more smooth. You know, it's becoming, even in terms of tannins, a bit more velvety, which I'm sure it will come in a few years. But yeah, I let you judge of the wine. So first of all, in terms of the vines and basically I would say the genetic, I think, again, it's a personal interpretation, it's what we think, but we see the evolution of the soil and everything, and I think everything has evolved to clones, you know, in terms of winemaking and things. The good thing is we have old vines, so basically we have these massal selections, which are really historically bringing a lot of patrimony, a lot of, you know, old genetic and a lot of diversity. So basically what we tend to is we have one of the biggest conservatory of Syrah in the world. So we have a specific plot where we maintain all this wood in terms of, you know, trying to select and reselect some old varieties, but to maintain really this biodiversity in terms of the genetics. So that's one of the points. Personally speaking, I think at some point we speak a lot. That's really personal, but about, for example, changing the grape variety and everything. The reality is, in the last 30 years, we probably selected a lot of very, you know, very early maturation grape variety or very early selection in terms of having the shorter cycle. In reality, we just avoided the longest one that we had in the past, and they were maybe considered as bad genetic. But I think when we are lucky enough to have the old vines in the field, and this one we were a bit the loser of the plot, basically they can become the winner. Because you need maybe, you know, a bit more with the sun, you need to have the slowest grapes variety, you know, arriving. I don't know if I'm clear in this, but I think it's something we can explore a lot in terms of the diversity and what we have really in terms of historically in the blood. And in terms of cement, I think we're really interested because basically with the wood, you bring some oxygen, you bring some micro-oxygen, which is great. You have some maturation, you have some complexity, but you bring also some other things. You bring some tannins, you bring some, which are great, but also I think probably what we want to do is to reduce the impact of the wood to have most the impact of the terroir in terms of things. So of course we don't have a lot of new wood, but also it's experimenting that, and also we see the dynamic of the wine evolving into this egg. So we can say it's a bit of a hype or something, but we have good result and we love it in the glass. So it's the reason why for us it's becoming really part of the complexity of what we do.
Beautiful, thank you so much.